Hi everybody, I'm creating another art journal spread. I enjoy creating layouts in this journal so much recently. I'm starting out with my handmade washi tapes. There is a video on how I make these available on my channel, and I will link it up in the description or in the top right corner info box. And here I'm starting by just putting down some water to activate the glue on the tapes, and then I'm sticking them down. The journal I'm working in is from Action. It's a shop here in Europe. It's not available online. It's quite a cheap journal, and the paper is not very good quality-wise, but it's quite heavy, and the book opens completely flat, and that's what I really love about the journal. I will speed up the collage part a little bit so you don't get bored. And once I'm done with the washi tape collage, I will cover the whole spread with a layer of clear gesso. For this page, I plan to use one of the Collage Fodder Embellishments with the mushrooms that I made in one of my recent videos. As soon as the page is dry, I'm coming in with some water and I'm going to color the background with Brushos powders. These are water-soluble pigments. You can also use Lindy's Magicals or any other water-soluble pigments. Of course, if you don't have these kind of pigments, you could use watercolors or acrylic inks instead. I'm using quite a lot of water and I'm moving the pigments around with my brush until I'm happy with the result. I try not to mix everything too much because that quickly can create a muddy background. As always, I'm linking up all the products I'm using in the video description, and there will be a blog post for this spread available, also linked up, where you can have a look at the close-up images. So you can, you don't have to stop the video at the end to see how this page turned out. All the techniques I'm sharing that I often create in my art journal can be used to create different backgrounds. For example, you can use them for mixed media cards, for mixed media tags, for artist trading cards in a smaller version. So it's not limited to the art journal page. I'm bringing in some contrast by adding some black Brushos powder, I think. I can't remember which exact Brushos colors I used. I think it should be purple, maybe leaf green, and that was the black, and this could be the gumbosh. I'm adding in some highlights with the Art Graf white. It's also linked up in the description. I'm using it quite often in my mixed media work, so you have probably already seen it. If you are enjoying this video, it would be really nice if you give it a thumbs up and leave me a lovely comment. Thank you. As I said in the beginning, I'm going to use one of the embellishments that I made in one of my last videos. And I picked this one because that is quite nice color-wise. And I have these leaves, which are made with our Sketchy Leaves number 4 stencil and also Brusho powders. And they match also the colors of everything quite well. And that's the reason I picked those from my stash. There is a video or a tutorial on how I made these, and I will try to find that and link it up in the description. I've used these kind of leaves quite often in the past projects. I'm now seeing how I want to arrange them, where I want to put them, and I think I like this layout the most, and that's how I'm going to adhere the focal point. I also want to make a sentiment for the page, and I like to use the big letters from our new A to Z stamp set, and I'm stamping them to a jelly print backside or jelly print cleaning paper where I cleaned the roll. And I like the pink color and it matches the whole page perfectly, so I'm using this to stamp the letters that I need to create my sentiment. After I have stamped them, I'm going to cut them out. I don't cut exactly the outlines, I just cut a square around the letter, and then I'm going to stick them to my spread. I'm now going to adhere the focal images, and then I will see where I want to place the letters. To hold everything in place, I'm laying down my acrylic block. I used the tacky glue from Craftelier. Usually I use the one in the pen, but that's running out, so I have to refill that. So this time I used the bigger bottle. I'm now going to place my letters, and I'm using just a glue stick to adhere those. Because the paper is not so thick, and they will stay in place more easily than a thicker paper. You can see that it's not very clear to read because of the dark background of the letters, but these are just outlined letters, and I plan to fill them in with an acrylic marker. I picked the ivory Posca pen and I'm just coloring in the letters carefully. Yes, and that is my finished spread. I hope you enjoyed this little video and I hope we will see us next time. Bye.